Hey guys, I'm Angie, and I would love to tell you my story today. I live in Alabama with my husband and my three kids. And my husband and I, we met while we were in high school and started dating. And we got married in December, and we had no plans of having any kids. In fact, we said, we're going to wait a while to have kids, and we don't really know if we're going to have any kids at all. So we had all these plans for ourselves and got married in December. And then in January, guess what? We were pregnant with our first child. And what I didn't know then was that antibiotics mess with birth control. So we started our marriage off right with sickness, and I had gotten sick. I can't remember what I had, but I was on a round of antibiotics. And then we were pregnant in January after we got married, just 1 month after we got married, and we wouldn't trade it for anything now. We have our first son about 10 months after we got married, and then about 3.5 years later, we had our second son. And then in 2012, we brought home our daughter we adopted from China. So we have our three kids, and we thought we were just living the normal life. We would get sick quite a bit, more in the winter. And so there was this one winter a few years ago that we were very sick. We were just over and over again becoming sick with the same things over and over again. And we had been on several rounds of antibiotics. We were passing it through our family again and again. And so at this point, we had been on antibiotics for about 3 months, and the antibiotics weren't cutting it. And I'll never forget that day. I was listening to something, and they were talking about how antibiotics work, which I didn't know before then, that the antibiotics, of course, their job is to kill all the bacteria. So they kill the good and the bad. They're non-discriminatory, and but the bacteria ends up mutating and developing a resistance against the bacteria. Let me think. Did I say that right? The bacteria ends up developing a resistance against the antibiotics. And so we were dealing with that at that time. And so it really just was an aha moment for me. It was, I was like, whoa, this is exactly what we're dealing with. We have been on so many antibiotics, and they're not working to cut what's going on in our bodies. And I knew at that moment we needed to do something different, that we needed to take a more proactive approach to our health. Okay, so that's the first step, right? Normally, just acknowledging and knowing that you need to make a change is the first step. And so I knew that we needed to make a change, but I had no idea what that step was going to look like. I had no idea what that change should look like. I didn't know what we were doing wrong and how we could make it right. So we rock along a couple more weeks, thankfully, only a couple more weeks, and then my friend Tina contacts me, and she tells me that she's been using essential oils with her family, and I'm like, say, what? What kind of oils? I mean, I'm like, is it like the oil that we put in our car, like motor oil, or is it like the oil that I cook with? I had never heard of essential oils and didn't know what in the world she was talking about. But she proceeded to tell me that her family had been using them for the last few months, and they had experienced really, really great results with their immune systems and their wellness. And so I said, girl, I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever it is, I want to try it. How do I start using these oils? So she helped me to order my premium starter kit. And I am so thankful that we had that conversation that day, and that I got started using them. So we start using our oils when they come in, and using them a little here and there. It really took me a while to transfer my mind shift from you know, to a more natural, proactive approach using the oils. But we saw successes and we kept saying to ourselves, I think that was just a coincidence. That's a little weird that that worked. You know, she told us that that would work, but that was weird that that worked. So we kept using them and they kept working. And so for example, one of the first aha moments for us or successes with the oils was with my daughter Joy. She was not sleeping through the night when we started using our oils. So we made a cream, a sleepy time cream with lavender oil and a few other oils in a base of coconut oil. And we rubbed that on her just all over her arms, her belly, her legs, her back, just kind of like a massage. And she ended up sleeping through the night. And it was that the next morning, like, I think that was just a coincidence. So we did it again the next night and she slept through the night. And so also Joy's skin, she has very sensitive skin. And after we had been using that Sleepy Time cream on her for about a month, we noticed that her skin had completely cleared up and looked so healthy. So those were a couple of our first success stories with our oils, and we're so thankful. Our lives look totally different now. We take a more proactive approach. We use the oils every day and oil infused products from Young Living every day, and we're not missing all that time that we used to spend in the waiting rooms at the doctor's offices. So thankful to have these tools in our toolbox. And I feel so much more empowerment as a mom to be able to have these as tools to go ahead and use these to boost our immune system, to take that proactive approach instead of reacting to everything that comes our way. So if you are not using Young Living essential oils, please let me introduce you to them, because I love to see people's lives change for the better, people experiencing greater wellness with using them. Thank you so much for letting me share my story with you. Bye-bye.